How to use mugwort in magic. Mugwort is an herb that is found fairly regularly in many modern pagan magical practices. From its use as an incense, for smudging, or in spell work, mugwort is a highly versatile, and easy to grow, herb. Mugwort is often associated with the female reproductive system, perhaps because of its associations with the moon, and can be used to bring on delayed menstruation. Mugwort says in a modern herbal that in the Middle Ages, the plant was known as Cingulum Sancti Joannis, as it is believed that John the Baptist wore a girdle of it in the wilderness. There were many superstitions connected with it. It was believed to preserve the wayfarer from fatigue, sunstroke, wild beasts and evil spirits generally. A crown made from its sprays was worn on St. John's Eve to gain security from evil possession. Part of the Artemisia family, mugwort was used in Anglo-Saxon Britain to cure people who had fallen victim to elf shot, which appears to be a catch-all term used to apply to people who had become sick, their illness being blamed upon the invisible arrows of the fae. Bald's Leech Book, an herbal from around the 9th century, refers to the use of mugwort to cast out demonic possession. The author also recommends heating a large stone in the fireplace, then sprinkling it with mugwort, and adding water to create a steam for the patient to inhale. Mugwort can be burned as incense or smoked to ease you into a deeper meditation or trance state. It's not an herb that makes you high, pursy, sick. Perhaps it opens a more direct channel to the lunar magic that is always there, latent in the brightness of the sun. I usually blend it with other herbs such as sage, mullein, and motherwort for smoking. It can be a lovely, spiritual experience. Mugwort helps us to release our wild, untamed selves. It encourages both men and women to connect with the divine feminine within, to open our third eye to our visions and dreams. Grieve goes on to say that in some countries, like Holland and Germany, mugwort is called by its colloquial name of St. John's plant. It earned this folkloric title because it was believed that if you waited until St. John's Eve to gather your mugwort, it would provide you with extra protection against illness or bad luck. Foraging for mugwort. Luckily for us, foraging for mugwort is generally pretty easy in most areas, as it's fairly widespread. There are two varieties that are common in the U.S. Artemisia vulgaris, which is native to Europe, Asia, North Africa, and Alaska, but is naturalized in the rest of North America. Artemisia douglasina is native to the western United States, and is what is in the photos that follow. Both plants are similar in looks and uses, with only a few minor differences. Mugwort is in the sage family and is a cousin to sagebrush, which has a similar scent. Interestingly enough, culinary sage is actually in the mint family, which is different than the sage family. Read more here. Garden sage and sagebrush are different. On mature plants, I notice the lobes more on the lower leaves, but often there are none on the newer growth. As you can see here, hang bunches of mugwort to dry, if only for its wonderful scent. Keep it on hand for when you want to remember your dreams, or to make an herbal brew. I have some fun plans in the works for this bunch. If you can't find any mugwort near you, but you still want to enjoy its benefits, buy it from Mountain Rose Herbs, my favorite place to buy high-quality, organic dried herbs. Have you ever heard of mugwort? What have you used it for?